this morning.
Courtney Schoeneman joining us live where there's about to be a rescue taking place right now.
Yeah, guys, we're here in Griffing Place, and we jumped on a boat. A lot of people in this neighborhood need rescuing. Among those is Constable Earl White. Guys, we're taking on water. Here, let's move a little bit. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Okay? Yeah. Very dynamic and fluid situation here. As we have a lot of people on this boat. We just rescued a family from Griffing Place, and we're taking on a little bit of water, but we're okay. We just had to shift some of the weight here in the boat. A lot of people, we saw a woman over here waving. She needs to be rescued as well. We were luckily able to get this family here. Ma'am, scary situation for you. Are you doing okay?
Kinda. We're hanging in there.
Just ready to get to dry ground.
Yes. Ready for this to end.
Any message here for these folks that came and got you guys?
Oh, thank y'all so much. I didn't expect this to happen. Never in a million years did I expect this to happen. So yeah, thank y'all so much.
Did it just come on faster and come out of nowhere than you expected?
Yeah, it did. We woke up with water in the yard, and it's been rising by inches every hour. And we're hoping this ditch could hurry up and drain, but I don't know if it is or not. But yeah, we're ready for it to end.
So you have your dog and a few cats here.
Yeah, 3 cats.
What's your name, ma'am?
I'm Janet.
Janet, I mean, just one of the many stories. So many people need rescuing here in Beaumont and Southeast Texas right now. We were luckily able to tag along as these nice people rescued this family here in Griffing Place. This neighborhood is completely underwater. We're going to also be heading back out with them as they rescue Constable Earl White. And we're just making it back to dry ground here as they're going to be able to get off and get to safety.
Courtney, tell us, if I know that you're describing it very well, but what you're seeing, and as you get into this, is our first look into Griffing Place, and again, this is in Port Arthur. What are you seeing, and what are the reactions? I mean, are they actually literally flooded out of their homes?
Yes, we are seeing people standing on their front porches trying to wave us down because they cannot get out. There are cars completely submerged. We now see another team of boats about to launch here. So the good thing is that the word seems to be getting out, and we were just able to get that family out safely, and we're just going to keep driving around. Sir, what's your name here with the boat? Whose boat is this?
Ed. It's cold.
Ed, we're here with Ed, and he stopped along here on the main road, and we're about to launch back out in hopes of going to rescue Constable Earl White and another woman who is flagging us down. So this is just, you heard Janet just tell us that the water came fast and hard this morning, and they just had to get out.
To Port Arthur, what was the situation? What did you encounter? How hard was it to get there? I think she may have lost her audio there. Yeah, I will. I'll let her plug that back in. That's how she hears us. Courtney, my question was, what was the situation driving into the city? What did you encounter? How hard was it to get there to Griffin Park?
Driving into the city wasn't too terribly bad, but this main road is starting to flood out, so that could become an issue at some point. These ditches here on major drives and Griffing Boulevard are really starting to fill up, and with this rain not letting up, that's going to become a major issue. But for now, the trucks are fine, and they're able to launch these boats into the neighborhood, so they're going to try and rescue as many people as possible.
I'm wondering if German can kind of give us a kind of a turnaround the other direction so we can kind of look into this neighborhood, that we can see what you're talking about. Now, if y'all are about to go, don't just tell me, yeah, we're pulling out. That kind of gives you an idea of the amount of water that is standing in these neighborhoods at this time. Courtney, I mean, is it as far as you can see when you get into Griffin Park? I mean, does it look to you like it's everywhere?
It does, and we just went out on our first rescue when you took us live, and the water is as far as I can see. These gentlemen have been out for longer than we have, but as soon as we launch back out, we're going to be able to get a better look at this. We were told that Constable White was going to try to walk out until they found this boat, and they said, no, hang tight, we can come get you in a boat. And some of his other family members, this young lady right here was able to get out first. and just kind of talk to us about what it's been like. Constable White still back at the house. How's he doing?
He's doing good. We're going to go get him. This is son right here. We got him out.
Him as well as my mom. We're back there. You know, we're without power right now. But as far as our cul-de-sac, you know, it's full of water about 3 feet deep and feet by chest high. We go back there, but we'll be fine once we get back there.
Yeah, we're going to get everybody. As many people as we can save, we save.
There you go. They're without power. So what kind of helped you make the decision to get out? Was it the fact that you lost power?
No, we were stuck without power since about right before midnight, about 11:45, and actually got in contact with my cousins here, you know, and they were telling us that the neighborhoods further back were actually losing lives and that they were actually flooded out. So we decided to go ahead and take the precaution and just move forward and get out before that.
And how were y'all able to find this gentleman in this boat here?
Well, actually, Reverend Pope was actually, me and my dad, we were kind of checking out the neighborhood to see exactly how deep it was, and then we actually saw him saving somebody prior to ourselves getting out of there. So we just asked him would he lend a hand, and then he came on board.
Did y'all ever expect to see this in your neighborhood?
Not at all, not at all. I've never seen flooding like this in Beaumont. No, I haven't. But we're thankful that we have this many hands on deck.
Absolutely. So glad you're safe, and we'll be tagging along as we head back out to go get Constable White and his wife. Looks like we're having to empty out some of the water here. We did take on a little bit of water, you guys. So we'll be here along for the ride for more rescues.
I'm curious also, Courtney, how many boats are there? How many boats do you see in that addition? How many boats are working that you can see? I mean, did you encounter others when you were going back a while ago?
I'm seeing 3 right now. It seemed like the one that we were on was the first one here, and 2 more have just showed up. So as people are driving by and seeing what's going on here, they're stopping and launching their boats as well. So the whole community just kind of driving around, seeing who's in crisis, seeing people getting rescued, and you can see right here these gentlemen are getting ready to launch out into the neighborhood as well. So right now I'm seeing 3 boats.
Okay, and again, we're reminding people too, Courtney, if they're in there, they need to take some action. I mean, because if they're not out, you can't see them, right?
That's so true. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because we can't get right up to your door. We don't have the ability to get out and knock and yell and see who's there. The rain is kind of loud, so the best thing you can do is stand outside, wave your arms, make yourself visible to rescuers. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we just saw a woman as we were taking this family back to Major Road here who flagged us down, so now we know we have to go back and get her, and that helps out people a lot when we can see them.
Sure, a lot of people think I'll just again, I'll just see them or hear them coming by, and that may not be the case.
Right.
That's up to you.
I'm gonna go get your dad.
No, you're exactly right. It's hard to hear out here. These boats aren't that loud, and when the rain starts pouring, the rain's loud. We can't hear over the boat and things like that. Looks like we're headed back out now, able to get the boat back up and running. So we'll be able to give you a better look once we get back into the neighborhood of how bad the flooding really is in here. So here's the entrance to the neighborhood. Griffing Place. I see another truck, another boat coming by here, possibly to help in the rescue effort. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, I went down the road. We're on the high end of the road. Watch your head.
So you're just helping out, helping people get in the boat. How's your house?
I think it's dry, but that was an hour ago when I saw it. So the water's come up a good 2 or 3 inches in the past hour.
That's unbelievable to see the amount of rain that has accumulated so fast, and that it's continuing to rise.
Yeah, it's coming up out of the ditches and bodies and everything.
How many people have y'all taken back to the street so far?
15, 20.
And there's still a lot of people in the neighborhood that need help.
Yeah. Every time we go by, somebody else waved at us or yelled at us something.
Yeah.
We got some over on the street. We get you.
Right here, they're waving at us, telling us they need help. And another woman here to your left, German.
Okay.
She needs help. So multiple people, I mean, just countless people asking for help, asking to be rescued out of this neighborhood.
obviously, Courtney, some people, it looks like maybe they don't want out, right? I mean, some people are just feeling like they're just going to ride it out there at their house.
As far as I can see, everyone that we've passed by has. Are y'all okay? Do you want to be taken out? No. Yeah. So that's our first person that we've seen that hasn't been asked to be rescued. So you're right. There are some
Watch
people
out for those floating ambulances.
that feel like they're safe enough right now. The water's creeping into their yards. It looks like they are kind of waiting it out to see if they can last. But we've already passed 2 or 3 homes where people are flagging us down saying, please get us out of here.
Courtney, I know it's
Now we're hitting ground. We're going to have to...
okay. And I know it's probably tough to see.
Sorry, go ahead. We can stay.
Can you tell from where you're at? Can you tell, is the power on in that subdivision?
No, and that's what Constable White's family was just telling us. They lost power a little before midnight last night. And so that's been the situation that folks are dealing with here. Not only are flood waters encroaching on their front doorsteps, but they've been without power all night long.
And again, these are just volunteers, if you're just joining us, brought their own boat out that are going through these neighborhoods trying to get people out.
That's exactly right, and we're tagging along with them. We pulled over on the side of the road, on Major Road here going into Griffing Place. We spotted Constable Earl White's family, who said that he needed to be rescued, and that's where we're headed right now. And then multiple other people still need to be rescued. This particular boat has rescued 15 to 20 people, they tell us, and they're just going to keep going and get as many people as they can.
All right, Courtney, and again, we can stay with the images for a little bit longer as you walk back in there and we see you going back into some of those streets. But again, this is something that's being played out in neighborhood after neighborhood across Southeast Texas. This is not just in Port Arthur. It's not just in Mid-County. This is also happening in Vidor, we know for a fact. Because, Police Chief Rod Carroll told us they had how many going on right now?
400 people need to be rescued, and that number is expected to increase because people calling to get on that list.
Yeah, and again, so they're trying to get boats into that part of the. We also know that up in Lumberton, Cooks Lake Road, also Keith Road. There's some problems up there in Beaumont. They didn't mention specific sites, I don't think, but we know for a fact that Tram Road, they had some troubles there yesterday, and they were talking about they expected the possibility of having more today. So again, this is going to be something that we see play out time after time, and it's only just beginning for a whole lot of these places that they're just